Good evening. Welcome back to the Glazov gang. Our tough and intellectual gang members this evening, except one of them is not an intellectual.
What?
Why do you think I'm talking about?
Why do you think I'm talking about you?
Because I'm the one he always picks on.
No, you feel picked on because you haven't gotten high tonight. Get high and
I'm the
don't
one
be
he's
so
always.
paranoid.
You know what? I'm the focus of your contempt because I'm on the left and I care about people. And that's why you're always out to get me, Glazov. And who's this?
Security.
Glazov. I'm just sick of being.
Are you going to
rabbit
take it
can
easy?
stay, you can go.
Don't touch Mr. Snuggle.
Okay, are you going to calm down?
Rabbit's being combed.
Are you going to calm down?
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, go ahead. Okay, go ahead. What's the problem?
I'm just tired of your personal attacks and your abuse. And I was apprehensive about coming on the show this week because of what I suffered last week.
But it's better this week, isn't it?
Would you stop being so condescending
Okay.
because I'm on the left?
Okay.
And I'm not like you. I'm sorry.
Dwight Schultz, who played Murdock on NBC's The A-Team, Evan Sayet on the B-Team, but also America's #1 conservative comedian, and Tommi Trudeau, a producer of films and music
just
videos,
leftist, please.
and a leftist.
See, that's the thing about the right. It's always, ooh, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Left is what do you care about? What's in your heart?
That's because the right cares about what we do.
That's right.
Gentlemen, the best way we can be defending this country, Homeland Security, we are unraveling at the seams. Dwight, one update. The ability of intelligence communities to communicate with law enforcement is dwindling. What's happening?
Yes, up on Pajamas Media today, and this has been verified. Patrick Poole reported that the FBI no longer will be sending information to what they call fusion centers, which are the terrorist information pools around the country, where all the information, this was something that was instigated right after 9/11. This was the whole concept. We're going to share information. Now the FBI has decided that they're not going to do this anymore. No more sharing of information, and as they said, well, we're still going to send packets. We're just not going to tell you what the information is, who it refers to.
And you won't be allowed to open the packets.
What is this?
Well, it's like sending a box of cereal with no cereal in it. You have the box, but you won't have any cereal in it.
If you remember prior to 9/11...
Okay, why? Well, first of all, why is this serious?
This is serious because, well, it is the correlation of information that allows this. This is a huge country.
It's why the FBI couldn't get into Massawi's computer.
That's right. That's exactly right. They weren't. There was a wall. They called it
Janet
The
Reno's
wall of
there
separate. No, it wasn't Janet Reno's, but it was Jamie Gorelick's.
Jamie Gorelick,
yeah.
right? Her wall, and it. Oh, yeah. Let's not go there. Let's not go there. All right.
Nothing.
No, but now you have, and this has been a process with this administration and with Obama and Janet Napolitano, that they have rolled back the protections that we came for, that we.
Okay.
Once again,
go ahead.
there is, you look for themes, you look for ideological themes, and one of them you find in this administration and amongst the left is that they don't trust the individuals. They don't trust the individuals when you get down from the top power people. So they don't want to share this information because they might use it to persecute Muslims. And so they want to put up, they don't want the CIA talking to the FBI. They don't want the FBI talking to the local people because the local people might be racist, they might be bigots, they might be awful, horrible people.
We have a problem in that people are now so afraid of being labeled Islamophobic or racist that when Nidal Hassan was saying that non-Muslims should have acid poured down their throats, that nobody complained, and he ended up killing 13...
To give you an idea how bad the political correctness is, in the official Obama government report, not only did they not mention Islam, now this is a guy who was giving courses on the need for violent jihad. This is a man who had a business card that read "Warrior for Allah." This is a man who yelled "Allahu Akbar" as he mowed down people, and nowhere in the official report from the government did it mention Islam, jihad. And in fact, they didn't even mention his name because the name would make people think that it had something to do with Islam.
Tommy, what do you think about how we're being disarmed? Our hands are tied behind. Our hands are being tied behind our back.
Oh, the
we're
boogeyman's.
blindfolded.
The boogeyman's.
The boogeyman.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. What do you think about some of these?
Well, number one, with Hassan, he was a religious nut. I think if someone is a religious nut, they should be fired.
But he wasn't fired because of political correctness.
No. This is where the right differs from the left. You cannot focus on just one religion. Oh, it's okay to be a religious nut if you're this religion, but if you're a religious nut over here, you know what? It's okay for the right if you happen to be of another religion and a religious nut. Then you're a good person.
Do you understand?
I don't think any religious nuts should be in politics. And if you look throughout the right, there's a lot of crazy religious nuts.
There's more than 15,000 terrorist attacks since 9/11. All of them are perpetrated by Muslims quoting the verses out of the Quran. Christians and Jews are not running around blowing themselves up and engaging in terrorism. So, do you condemn what the left perpetrated in terms of not allowing Nidal Hassan the circumstances for him to be fired?
Because they could fire him. You know why? Because you can't fire some right-wing religious nut.
Why would you?
And so you can't fire the left.
It's not what you do, it's what you do.
Do you understand what Dwight was pointing to? We simply cannot defend ourselves. If Islam is not even mentioned in a report describing what Nidal Hassan did, how can we protect our society?
Exactly like this. And the right will hate it. They will oppose it. Any kind of religious nut. If you show religious fervor, if you show that you're a very religious person, then you should be watched.
The way you're very religious about your leftism, the way you're insanely religious about your leftism, which
for crying out loud.
It's not a dog, it's a rabbit.
Oh, okay. I mean, you're fervent and insane and screaming and yelling.
No, I'm not.
Look,
and number one, all this paranoia. Well, I think the government has done a damn good job taking care of us, except for the isolated religious nuts. But as far as big terrorist attacks, what has happened since 9/11? And you owe that. You owe a big part of that.
No, you owe that to George Bush.
You owe that to Obama,
George
too.
Bush.
Because nothing has happened under his administration either.
Listen.
That's because of
Did
what
things
Bush
blow up under President Obama?
This president,
buildings coming down?
this president set us on a course. First he said, we're one of the largest Muslim nations in the world. You don't believe that, do you? You don't believe that, do you?
There are a lot
Wait
of
a minute. Do you believe we're one of the largest Muslim nations in the world?
No, you're playing with words.
No, that's what he said. Now, listen. That's what the president said. He then goes to the FBI, and he tells the FBI to remove Islam from all of their field journals, so that the field officers cannot even learn about this religion. Then the Department of Homeland Security, in February of this year, do you know what its major focus is?
What?
Environmental justice. Now, I want to ask you, do you see the steps? The Homeland Security was created after 9/11 in order to protect us directly against, to protect us, not the boogeyman. Nick Berg, who had his head cut off, didn't have it cut off by the boogeyman.
But he went to Iraq to wasn't he in Fallujah, the bastion of religious nuts? It's like almost stepping into Westboro. It's like stepping into Westboro Baptist Church. God only knows what would happen to you.
Why do you think they're advocating?
Let me point out the way the thinking that's going on here. You've got Islam, which is responsible for every war on the planet today, which is responsible for virtually every man-caused disaster of the last 50 years. And in order to show that Christianity is just as bad, he has to go to the Westboro Baptist Church. And that's what liberals have to do. In order to justify evil, they have to take what's good, find something that's wrong with it, and exaggerate it so that he can blame religion.
The difference between you and me is certain religions religious nuts are just fine with you. Me, no
And
religious
certain
nuts are.
left-wing fanatics are just fine with
no
you.
religious nuts
Hitler-
are okay with
Hitler-
me.
Hitler was
I
not-
don't want
Hitler
any
was not a
religious
religious nut. He was a socialist.
He was a
Listen.
madman.
He was a socialist.
He was an insane.
Listen,
mad.
10%.
Like every socialist.
10%.
Like every religious
Out
person
loud.
is
Oh,
crying.
Christ. You know
Like
what?
every
Listen,
religious
you know what?
there's
person.
1.5 billion Muslims. 10% of them say it's okay to kill infidels. All right.
How many
That is
Christians?
not
How
a
many
Christian.
Jews?
You won't find that in Christianity.
And
You
yeah.
won't find it. It is a serious number and something you should be concerned
Is it
about.
wrong?
And your
Yes.
Mr. Snugglebun
Is it
should
wrong?
be concerned about that.
You know what? He's here for support
Okay,
for
listen.
me.
Yes.
You don't need to. You know.
All right,
I
we
know
have
what
come to
happens
the end of
fun.
our program.
I don't discriminate on religious nuts.
Yes, you
Certain
do.
religious
listen,
nuts
yes, you
are
do.
fine with you.
Okay, but
I don't
you-
want any religious
Okay,
nuts.
fine.
No
Okay,
religious nuts.
And only religious
None at
nuts.
all.
So Hitler's okay because he was a non-religious
And let's
nut.
no,
cut
no
them all
madman.
off.
No
Okay, let's-
But that's a
madman.
liberal.
Gentlemen,
He's an
gentlemen.
insane madman.
No, he's a
Gentlemen.
socialist.
Gentlemen,
No, he wasn't. Don't pin him on every
he
socialist.
was a national socialist.
For
Why do you
crying
think
out
he's a
loud,
national
most of the European countries are socialist,
Yes,
and they're
they are.
nice
Yes.
places to live.
Unless you're
You're going to tell me Paris. You're going to tell me Berlin. You're going to tell
Berlin was
me
wonderful for the Jews.
no today. today.
for the last
Paris,
for the last
Berlin,
30
all
years,
these beautiful
they haven't
European
bothered us that
countries.
much.
You know what
For
George
crying
Soros said
out
about the
loud.
euro? Sell.
Gentlemen, Tommy,
Venice.
Tommy, do you promise not to
Polluted
bring
water.
Mr. Snugglebuns
No,
back
I want
on
to
the
bring
show?
him
I
because,
want him back.
because
It's
I'm
Tommy I
ganged
don't
up
want
on
back.
by the Glazov gang, and he gives me a little comfort. Does anyone have a problem with
Not at
Okay,
all.
Okay.
gentlemen, we have come to the end.
I kinda
of
like him.
our
Me too.
show. You like Mr.
I
Snugglebun?
like Tommy too.
Is it Mr. Snugglebun or Buns?
Singular.
Why do you care?
Because we want to call him by the right name.
Don't. You know what? He's here for my support.
I know,
Okay,
fanatics
He's not
habits.
here for your support.
Gentlemen, we gotta go at the end of our show. However, 30 seconds.
And
each.
I resent being called gentleman. I think it's a little sexist.
A gentle person.
That's
Dwight.
better.
Right.
Please do your imitation of the English accent before we go.
Oh, I wanted
Let's
the
hear.
Muslim
Let's hear.
again.
Let's hear.
Well, you know, when I speak like this, I change completely. I think differently. I fall apart actually inside because
Your teeth get worse.
my teeth rot and fall. Right? I speak. I tend to repeat what other people say. Go ahead, say something.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, Evan, give us some of your entertainment before we go. 20 seconds.
No, I'm not.
Top 25. Come on.
I'm not dancing bear.
Come on.
At your. No.
Okay,
I'm not
anything
going to-
interesting you're doing
No,
in the
just
next...
come see me entertain. Pay money so I can. eat.
Okay, and are all the women still writing to you
They
through
love
the
me.
show? The
Women
women love
love
you.
me.
Tommy, final words of wisdom from you about being on the Glazov gang. Do you have an imitation or an impression or any?
What
final
am I?
thoughts?
Am I your Pavlovian dog?
That's
Am I
right.
going to frickin' slobber when you say slobber? You're
That's
going to ring a
right.
bell and I'm going to drool all over for you, Glazov? No, I don't think I'm gonna. I don't think I'm going to give you that. And they think it's funny. Ha ha ha! But I'm not your Pavlovian dog, and I'm not
That's
going to slobber when you ring a frickin' bell.
Let's
all
see.
right?
Maybe have a bell.
Ladies and gentlemen, join us next week for the Glazov gang.